Every new shooter that releases is hailed as the next Call of Duty killer. Titanfall or just recently X-Defiant. But in the end, the only real killer has always been Call of Duty itself. Over 20 years ago, Call of Duty single-player campaigns were the star of the show. Intense, gripping and emotional. Multiplayer, just kind of a side feature for many. But over the years, the focus shifted entirely. Multiplayer, microtransactions, battle passes. The franchise stopped being a cinematic war story and became a yearly content machine. Now we have Black Ops 6, once again not well received by the fans. What was once a legendary series often seems to just get worse and worse from title to title. But what do you think? Is Call of Duty still the FPS king for you, or has the franchise lost its shine? But first, let's go back to where it all started. Call of Duty in the year 2003. The roots actually trace back to 1999. When Steven Spielberg and the developers of Medal of Honor, Allied Assault helped define the World War II shooter genre. That game set the tone for cinematic, immersive warfare. But after the success of Allied Assault, many of its key developers left and founded Infinity Ward. Their mission? To beat Medal of Honor at its own game. Ironically, they nicknamed the first project the Medal of Honor Killer. With Activision backing them, they set out to redefine first-person shooters. In 2003, Call of Duty launched and did just that. Unlike other shooters at the time, it focused on squad-based gameplay. You weren't a superhero soldier. You were part of a team. The game featured 3 separate campaigns, American, British and Soviet, heavily inspired by different movies. The result were a gritty, cinematic war experience like never before. With Call of Duty 2, the franchise made its big leap to Xbox 360. It was a launch title and became one of the system's biggest early hits. The game introduced regenerating health and larger, more open levels. Mechanics that would shape FPS design for years. This was the moment Call of Duty truly began to go mainstream. Around this time, Treyarch joined the party with Call of Duty 3, further expanding the franchise footprint and establishing itself as a serious second core studio. And then came the game changer, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Infinity Ward left behind the World War II setting and took a massive risk by creating a fictional modern-day conflict. It was a bold move, but one that paid off. Modern Warfare became a global phenomenon. Missions like All Elite Up were groundbreaking in design, pacing and also storytelling. But the real legacy, the multiplayer. It introduced persistent progression, perks, kill streaks and also unlockable weapons, setting the standard for all online shooters that followed. It wasn't just a game anymore, it was the game. Then came Modern Warfare 2, and it took everything to the next level. I think we all remember No Russian. While the multiplayer built up on the original's foundations with new kill streaks, customizable loadouts and chaotic action. It sold over 25 million copies, becoming a cultural event. Not to be outdone, Treyarch responded in 2010 with Call of Duty Black Ops. Set during the Cold War, it introduced iconic characters like Alex Mason and Frank Woods. And then there was Zombies, now a franchise within the franchise.
Gentlemen, lock and load. Viva la revolución!
For years, the two studios would trade off hits, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, each one building on what came before. It felt like the series could not do wrong. It was basically the golden age of Call of Duty, midnight releases, friends shouting over Xbox Live, trick shots on Rust. Just a great time to be playing the game. But after Black Ops 2 something shifted. For many, Call of Duty Ghosts was underwhelming. The campaign felt forgettable.
You start to forget.
And the multiplayer kind of lacked innovation. Then the futuristic era began. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. Jetpacks, wall running, laser weapons. It was exciting for some, but alienating for others. Many fans wanted boots on the ground. Instead, they got exosuits. The backlash peaked with Infinite Warfare. Its trailer became one of the most disliked videos in YouTube history, and sales reflected that sentiment. It felt like the franchise had lost touch with what players actually wanted, and Activision took notice. In 2019, Modern Warfare made its return. Not a sequel, but a soft reboot. The tone was darker and grittier.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
The gunplay was realistic and satisfying. It wasn't perfect, but it felt like a step in the right direction. Then, in 2020, the pandemic hit, and so did Warzone. The free-to-play Battle Royale dropped at exactly the right time. With the world in lockdown, Warzone exploded in popularity. It was chaotic, fast-paced and accessible. Streamers loved it, gamers who never touched Call of Duty gave it a shot. For a moment, Call of Duty felt fresh again. But that momentum didn't last. Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard failed to impress. Then came Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. For many, bloated, buggy and clearly rushed. Which brings us to Black Ops 6. Meant to be a nostalgic return to the Cold War era with classic zombies and campaign storytelling. Instead, a disaster. Just 2 months after launch, Black Ops 6 had lost 79% of its player base on Steam. AI-generated content, overpriced cosmetics, bland gameplay, it all felt soulless. The initial player count of 315,000 dropped to just 66,000 within 8 weeks. Even Modern Warfare 3, which many call DLC in disguise, held its audience longer. If Black Ops 4 was the last truly great Call of Duty, which is for many actually, then we've gone nearly a decade without a high point. The formula hasn't evolved. Skill-based matchmaking, predictable maps, recycled mechanics. Meanwhile, other shooters are thriving. With Counter-Strike and Valorant, you've got some tactical shooters.
Green, what's your problem, Green? What is your problem? Missile on ramp.
In Rainbow Six, you've got different operators, you've got drones, it's super strategic, and so on. I mean, it also got its flaws, many of them, but that's a different thing. In Apex Legends, you've got hero abilities and in general a great shooter experience in my opinion. It just feels like Call of Duty isn't really leading the pack anymore. It seems like it's just following the trends, not setting them. Maybe it's just time for a break, or maybe even full reboot. Or maybe it's just what Call of Duty is now, a casual shooter for short sessions and not innovation. Personally, I'm not really playing it anymore at the moment. In Black Ops 6 I had my fun with zombies for a few days and that was it. Because of almost 2 decades of push, die, respawn, repeat, at least for me Team Deathmatch just doesn't hit the same anymore like it used to be when I was a bit younger. So now I want to hear from you. What was your first Call of Duty? Which one made you fall in love with the franchise? And did you stop caring about the game? Are you still grinding Warzone, especially with Verdansk making a return? Or have you moved on to games like Apex, Valorant, Counter-Strike or whatever? And if you found this video interesting, consider subscribing and dropping a like, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, you might also enjoy some of the ones recommended right here on the screen, and thanks for watching and see you in the next one.